Some of you have probably been wondering, where did I go? I kind of just fell off the face of the planet for this past week. Well, there's a perfectly good explanation for that, and I'm going to talk about it. So, let me tell you. Last week, I found out that there was some discrepancy in the internet provider. I'm not going to get into details like I normally would with stuff, but essentially, my net was cut off for a week. And that week started at 6:30 p.m. on last Wednesday. So I did my uploads for that Wednesday, but when I was getting ready to post the announcement on the Facebook announcement page, that's when it all went out. Now, of course, my net setup is rather unique because when the net goes out, it's also the cable, so the cable goes out. And since this is hooked up to the phone line, the phone also goes out. So I've essentially been in the dark for 1 week. And things have just recently got back on. So I saw my router lights just go off, and that was essentially it. I was off the grid for a week. Worked some things out with the internet provider, of course. But, I won't go into that. So, what was it like being off for a week in the dark? Well, it kind of sucked because this is my net connection at home. This isn't my cell phone. So I was able to do a few things on my phone, but not much. Check out the tweets and whatnot, because that's a different provider for net than the house, in case anybody was wondering. But mainly I was dark, and I strayed pretty much away from social media. It was rough the first day, because you wake up and it's like, okay, you sit at the computer, you click on Firefox, and it's like, you are not connected. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm dark for the week. So, I had to switch over my TV, which, thankfully, my TV remote still does the thing where I can switch it over to analog. And let me just tell you, it went okay. Now, mind you, cable has been boring. I'm not gonna lie. It's been boring since quarantine. There's so many times you can play Harry Potter or San Andreas or the Jurassic Parks, which are still coming on, After Earth, Fast and the Furious, and Men in Black. After a while, it just gets boring. You've seen this stuff since March, and it just keeps repeating itself over and over and over and over again. And I went to analog and managed to catch something very nice. They had a Godzilla marathon on at one point, and it was so nice to see something different for a change. It was nice to actually not have to scroll through channels and be like, there is nothing on to watch. Mainly, I got this net for online gaming, but gaming had to be offline for a while. It's like, oh yeah, this feature is online and I can't do that. Oh man, it hurts so bad, but it hurts so good at the same time. But after the first day, things were pretty well. I essentially spent the time picking up on sleep because I've been tired, man. I have been tired. Hella fucking tired. Not even gonna lie. Hella fucking tired. And it was nice to catch up on sleep. So, now that everything is back, my week's up, I can get back to doing regular stuff. But first, I'm going to go through the messages, see what's up. Then after I figure that out, obviously TV's on in the background because, you know, there's people watching TV. I'm entertaining guests, of course. They're watching movies. Movie night with the fam. Wow, that's something you don't really get too often. Movie night with the fam. What a world. And then the news is talking about all this other political madness with, well, you already know. I don't even have to tell you about that. You know, it news, man. I don't like to watch the news. I'll be real with you. I don't like to watch the news, but I will keep an ear open for it and an eye to, like, reading materials that the news posts. But other than that, like, when it comes 10 o'clock and all the news comes on, or like 5 o'clock in the evening and all the news comes on, fuck that. I'm not watching any of that. Forget it. But it was nice catching up on my sleep, though. Still tired as all hell, which is unfortunate. But, you know, I'll catch up on more sleep as I go. I'm not one of those people who believes that idiotic saying I'll sleep when I'm dead. Because here's the thing. You never say that sort of stupidity. Because saying you'll sleep when you're dead, that's stupid. You could say that, and then 1 hour later, God just decides it's your time to go, and boom, they find you later. They thought you were asleep, only to find out later your cause of death was a brain aneurysm or something. It's happened. So, I'll sleep when I get the chance to go to bed. Lay down, close my eyes, get the sleep in. That's when I plan on sleeping. And as I'm going through dealing with messages, a lot of stuff has happened, so I have to catch up on that. But at least I'm getting a bit of normalcy. Excuse me, I had to actually yawn right there. You can tell I was tired. I did say that. But yeah, it's October. It's 1 month before November. Ooh. The social media knows about November. I'm not going to tell you about what happens in November. But slowly but surely, I'm going to get back into things. I know there's a lot to work on as far as apps are concerned, and I'll catch up with that in due time. But for the time being, I'm going to see what's up on my messages, answer all that, and finally organize a sort of schedule. This is something I've been trying to figure out since I got back, and I mentioned this in the fall update, the fall progress report. But I'm figuring it all out. You know, I'm starting to say, okay, I'm going to put this on this date, this on this day, this on this day, this on this day, this on this day. And my gaming communities have told me a few things. The biggest one, apparently, was the second DLC to Pokemon Sword and Shield, and how all of the legendaries from the past games have been coming back. Then, oh my goodness, Kirby Fighters 2. Ooh. Kirby Fighters 2. Kirby Fighters 2. That's something that's gonna be on the channel, folks, because you know me, I'm the Kirby freak. You know the Kirby freak's gonna have the Kirby content whenever I can. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to some Kirby Fighters 2 and Luchador Kirby. But yeah, now that I figured out essentially what's going on what day, I just have to figure out the time slots, because as I said before, there's 3 particular time slots where you, my audience, are watching everything. So once that gets set in stone, business will pick up for the fall. What's left of the fall anyway. And the winter. So to those who want to wish to, you know, they want to welcome me back in the comments, thank you for that. Yeah, good to be back, and soon things will be back in the swing. So stay tuned, everybody. I got a little bit of catching up to do, but once I'm all caught up, things will be getting underway.